For 40 years, the United States government watched Black men suffer from a deadly disease. They did not treat them. They did not warn them. Even when a cure existed, the experiment was designed to see what happened when the disease went untreated. A tragedy of intent, hidden in plain sight. Welcome to the Footnote Files, where history doesn't disappear. It gets institutionalized. Today, we examine the experiment that never ended. You were probably taught this was a tragic medical mistake, a failure of oversight, a product of a different time. That version leaves out intent. In 1932, the U.S. Public Health Service launched a study in Macon County, Alabama. They recruited 600 Black men, 399 with syphilis, 201 without. They were sharecroppers, poor, and uneducated. The men were told they were being treated for bad blood. They were promised free medical care, meals, and burial insurance. What they received were placebos. In the depths of the Great Depression, this offer of care was irresistible. It was a lifeline they couldn't refuse. It was calculated exploitation. The goal was never to cure. The goal was to observe how syphilis destroyed the human body when left untreated, specifically in the Black male body. Enter Nurse Eunice Rivers, a Black nurse recruited to be the bridge. She gained their trust, driving them to appointments and sitting by their bedsides. She tracked them for decades, ensuring not a single one found real treatment. She dispensed spring tonic and aspirin, simple placebos, while the disease ravaged them. To ensure cooperation, they offered special treatment. It wasn't treatment, it was a painful spinal tap to test for neurosyphilis and harvest fluid. They were told it was a last chance for a cure. But the most powerful incentive was the $50 burial insurance, only paid if the family consented to an autopsy. In a destitute community, this guaranteed dignity in death, something life hadn't offered them. But there was always a catch. The government paid for the grave, only so they could harvest the body first. While the world moved on, Macon County was kept in the dark, isolated by design. In 1943, 250 of the men were drafted. The military required treatment for syphilis before induction. The researchers intervened. They ordered the draft board not to treat the men, to let them remain infected for science. These men were of special interest and preserved as specimens. By 1947, penicillin became the standard, effective treatment, a miracle drug. Doctors and the U.S. government knew it worked. The study continued anyway. Treatment was intentionally withheld. Participants were actively prevented from accessing it elsewhere, even as public health centers opened across the country. In 1969, a CDC panel reviewed the study. They voted to continue it until endpoint, a euphemism for death and autopsy. Men went blind, insane, and died. Their wives were infected. Children were born with syphilis. Generations impacted while federal doctors took notes. The autopsy was the prize, the final data point they had waited 40 years for. Filed and recorded in silence. Enter Peter Buxton. He saw the files in 1966 and was horrified. He wrote letters and protested, but was ignored. He was told it was necessary science. In 1972, he leaked the story. The nation learned the truth, and the experiment was shut down 40 years after it started. Only 74 survivors remained. A $10 million settlement was reached. In 1997, President Bill Clinton issued a formal apology. What the United States government did was shameful. An apology does not resurrect the dead or heal the blind. Tuskegee didn't just harm its victims, it shattered trust. Medical distrust in Black communities is not irrational. It is historical. It is inherited. The silence has been deafening. The most disturbing part of Tuskegee is not that it happened. It's how long it lasted, and how many people had to agree for it to continue. Doctors, nurses, government officials, they all signed off. They all watched, and they all wrote it down for 40 years. Next time on the Footnote Files, the Spartan Helot system, an entire society built on permanent servitude, where terror wasn't a side effect. It was policy.